I agree with his son. Mr. Hearst was asked once about the estate towards the end of his life, and he said he never reached the halfway point in construction.
And his sons never saw that.
It's not theirs to finish. Mr. Hearst told me. I would never assume my father's car belonged to me simply because he died. Oh no, maybe Dad's not going to leave you the car. Maybe Dad thinks you ought to go get a job and buy your own car. And William Randolph Hearst, you know, he was 27 when his father died. And his dad, in the will, left him nothing. He left all of his fortune, hard rock mining, land speculation fortune, was left entirely to Mr. Hearst's mother with specific instructions that it was to be given to the American people, for the money was rightfully theirs, after all, as he said. When Mr. Hearst was there for the will, he heard that. And then he sat down, he went back to his room, I guess, now at his mother's home, not his father's home. And he wrote her a note. It's a beautiful note, beautiful note. And he wrote her, "My father is the greatest man who ever lived. My father showed me with his last act on this earth that his love for me is eternal. He has taken away the burden of what surely would have destroyed our relationship. And I am free to accomplish what I can." What an interesting response. He said, "Oh, it's mine. I was cheated. I was robbed. Get me 10 lawyers, in other words. Grow up. It's not your money. It was his dad's money. And he wanted it to go to the American people. And his mother gave it away. She built hospitals and universities and bought parklands and funded civic organizations. She wrote the first check to build the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. That kind of stuff, in other words. And when she died in 1919, she had $11 million left. And that's land, cash money, and property, like a 17th century Spanish fountain. So she's got $11 million left and leaves Mr. Hearst $8.5 million of that $11 million in 1919. In 1919, his gross income was right around $400 million a year. So you have two vastly different fortunes here. You have one that his dad earned in hard rock mining, and one that Mr. Hearst earned in journalism, a career that his mother and father had once referred to as directly above stage acting and right below prostitution. Come on in. Well, I mean, being honest, I should give you the quote. It's okay. We've got tour mats now. So when you come inside, get my sunglasses off. Right away, you'll see that tour mat, and we want to follow those mats when we're inside.
Stage acting and prostitution.
Above stage acting and right below prostitution.
No, below stage acting and above prostitution.
Okay.
No, the other way around.
Isn't it below? It doesn't make any difference. It's below both. That's an interesting concept.
Wow, this is amazing.
Call the tour mat, come to the room, say hi to Dawn there if you want. I will keep an eye on us for a while. Hopefully we don't get lost.
Wow.
Dawn's very polite. This is his way about it. And I know staying on tour mats is hard. There's a lot of nice things, but do your best. Believe me, Mr. Hearst didn't have tour mats. You'd have been here with Manuel Quezon, President of the Philippines. You'd have been here with the First Lady of China, Madame Chiang Kai-shek, the sister-in-law of Sun Yat-sen. Her husband leads the Nanking government till the Japanese kill the city, and then he retreats to Chongqing. Can't even imagine what that must have been like. Japanese armies, 3 of them, encircled Nanking, put to death nearly 500,000 Chinese just because they were Chinese. God, children. Come on in, but stay on the mats. Stay on the mats. You're here with Walt Disney and an actor named Cary Grant. Notice I said actor, Cary Grant. There was a question before last Christmas, December, by a young lady on tour about Cary Grant. And the question was, is that a man or a woman? She was 19. Why would she know? Yeah, bless you. He was an old guy who died in 1996, made movies into the 1960s, and was absolutely, in my opinion, a beautiful person. But why would you know, if you were 19 years old, who Cary Grant was? I mean, the only time I get excited is when somebody asks me, like they did last summer, now you keep talking about Winston Churchill. Who's that? Yeah, that happens. That happens. Every year I buy one copy. It's my contribution. I buy one copy of a magazine called U.S. News and World Report. And I only buy the college issue to talk about the polls they run amongst freshmen and seniors and juniors and sophomores. And I really like the fact that